Let's take you straight back live to Paris, where, to quote a phrase, it's all kicking off. This is the traditional Labour Day march, May the 1st, of course. And we've seen some of those electric e-scooters and e-bikes set on fire there in the last few minutes. Plumes of smoke. You can see now the French riot police getting in position. Elsewhere, we're being told in Nantes, tear gas being fired with protesters throwing projectiles at the police. And also in Rennes, in the west of the country, unions had said they hoped that more than 1 million people would march through the towns and cities of France today. But it's all to do, of course, with the pension reforms, with President Macron wanting to raise the state pension age to 64. But it is to a vote, if you like, with people taking to the streets to express their unpopularity, or the unpopularity, rather, of Macron, a direct challenge to his autocratic rule, as some have declared it, in terms of pushing through these pension reforms without the legislation we can see there's some tear gas affecting those people to the left of the shot that was fired a few minutes ago. We saw the tear gas, the smoke going across the boulevard here. A lot of these French riot police with their visors down, helmets on. Let's have a quick listen in. Well, I think tensions and emotions running high. Protesters asking why the tear gas is being fired, why they're not being allowed to march, as is traditional, of course, on this Labour Day, this May the 1st. But you can see in the background there more canisters being fired there, the French riot police trying to disperse these crowds. As we said, the unions had started marching with their flags and banners, as we've seen in London, but this now turning into a very different sort of scene here in Paris, as we understand, in Nantes and Rennes as well. You can hear them firing off with people putting those scarves now over, and the face masks, as well as the tear gas spreads across. You can see the riot police have got their face masks and their oxygen masks as well. They're clearly trying to clear this particular area of Paris. There we are. You can see directly that smoke filter on the front of that riot police mask there, which means they can stay in situ while this tear gas spreads across the street. Shouts and protests in the background there that you can hear, but clearly it does seem that this tear gas is clearing the protesters from this particular area of Paris. In terms of the march that was in this particular area of the city, hundreds, if not thousands, the union saying, of course, that they wanted 1 million to take to the streets across France, but you can see further down there the tricolour and some of those union banners. So I think this is what they call a tense standoff now at the moment. No indication that these police will try and push these marchers back, but certainly those tear gas canisters being fired to try and prevent them from walking any further down. Just, of course, to reflect that Macron's popularity has plunged to near record lows with the efforts to get these pension reforms through, the lowest point, indeed, since the Gilets jaunes, or yellow vest crisis, when he actually took on the trade unions and the various strikes previously. But the social unrest continuing, as we can hear the sirens now. So a standoff at the moment. We'll head back there as we find out more about what is happening in this particular part of the city. But clearly the tear gas having dispersed some of those, but the unions still there with their banners and their flags back to the French capital as we get more. Rather different scene to what we've seen in London in these past few hours.